Hello, we're here at Mood, so I am super happy because fabric. Well, my name is Asta Darling. I like to think of myself as a historical cosplayer, but I kind of dabble in all variations of historical fashion and cosplay. I like to blend the two and create something a little unique, and I like to think of myself as a time traveler. Okay, so when I'm sewing, it's really weird. I usually like to start with my design, and then I go fabric shopping and I completely forget everything that I've done because I get really inspired by my fabric. So when I find the right fabric, I feel like the design really comes to life, and then I start looking for the pattern. I like to drape a lot of my patterns on the stand. So it really depends on what type of fabric I find, and then I go from there. I'm gonna be super bougie and go with silk taffeta. I love the crunch. I love how silk taffeta it's that historical crunch. Whenever you're reading a historical novel and you hear like the gowns were swishing, all you have to do is go get silk taffeta and swish it, and you have like this entire scene conjured in your head. So yeah, it's gonna be silk taffeta, and I'm gonna probably make a sackback gown from the 18th century. I'm weak for silk taffeta. It's my favorite fabric to use. If it works, it works. I use a sewing machine. There's this great debate going on right now on social media, and I feel like I accidentally kicked it off because, again, I thought like 20 people would respond, and it's like 2,000 people have an opinion. I made an Elizabethan collar on my embroidery machine, and a lot of comments I got when I showed the finished project was, oh my gosh, like your machine made it. No, I made it. I actually made it, because if I hadn't have programmed the machine and taught myself how to use the machine and sewn it together, it wouldn't exist. Remember that if our ancestors had these machines, they would use them. There's a fine line between historical accuracy and not sewing by candlelight and hand weaving the fabric yourself. And I feel like I really just try to inspire people to do what's passionate. If you have polyester, make it out of polyester. Who cares? Who cares? If you are happy wearing it, I think it's going to show. I would just rather you be happy in a costume you make and be able to move and function. Don't take yourself seriously. You're going to mess up, and it is perfectly fine. I have been sewing for 20 years and I still do stupid things. I still sew things wrong. I have 2 unpickers next to me to rip out a seam when I make a mistake. You're going to make mistakes, and that is part of the learning process, and it is okay. As long as you made it and you can take pride in the fact that if you had not have taken your 2 hands and taken this fabric and turned it into something else, it wouldn't exist. So just be proud of the fact that you did something, you made it, you willed it into being, and it was a human soul that brought it to life.